On any given day, any given hour, actually any given second, you or your child's life could depend on the sacrifice of a stranger. Thousands of people are waiting on an organ transplant right now. Peter Pudgy got a second chance at life thanks to a donor's gift. Danielle Turner honored her daughter's wish to help others by donating her organs. And Woodley Ambrose is with Life Gift, the organization turning moments of tragedy into life-saving hope. Good morning. All right. About Life Gift. Tell us just the premise of it and how it works.
Yes, the Life Gift is the organ procurement organization, and we serve the southeast, the north, and the west areas of Texas. So we're one of the 3 OPOs serving the Texas area.
And the call to action is, I would say you can't do anything with it if you take it with you. You can
Correct.
do a lot can be done with it if you leave it behind. But the good point is to discuss this. I know it's not easy for people to discuss this. So you aren't shocked when someone gives you a call, or you're not left trying to discuss what to do. My brother was killed by a drunk driver when he was 21 years old. And I remember the phone rang and my mom hung up the phone and she was so upset because someone asked her about his organs. Had we talked about that, and later she said, I would have gladly done that. I was just caught off guard. So from the get-go, you want people to discuss this and make a decision.
Yes, to discuss this and make a decision, one. And Life Gift is great proponents of educating the community, because a lot of times people don't know about organ donation. And it's the not knowing is the reason why they'll say no. So instead of waiting until the worst moment of a family member's life to go ahead and have this conversation, it's good to have this conversation prior to, so your family know your wishes, and then the community knows about organ donation prior to that terrible day.
There's some science with this of what organs can match what, right? Which is the reason why we need diversity within the population of organs that are donated.
Yes, so there is a science behind it. So there are a lot of misconceptions out there, which is not true. So anybody just cannot match with anyone. And there is a lack in the multicultural community, that there is more of a need for people who need organ transplants, not only those who need and those who are waiting. So there are a lot of people waiting that look like me and you, that unfortunately, and there's people that look like me and you who don't know about organ donation, and who are the ones that are that hear the myths and the mistrust in the medical community. So our goal is to ensure to go out there and advocate for that and educate.
And it's not just the main organs either. I mean, we look at the heart, kidney, liver, pancreas, and intestines, but also tissue, skin, corneas, bone, nerve. All kinds of things that can either save a life or improve the quality of life for somebody. All right, Peter, you fulfilled a dream in 2019. University of Texas defensive lineman. I went to UT. One of our later guests, Michael Garfield's coming up later. He went to UT as well, so we're both hook 'em. You got your jacket on. All right, you fulfilled that dream. You're playing the game, and then what happens?
In my fall of 2019, I was experiencing a lot of symptoms like shorter breath. It was hard for me to eat foods and other symptoms, and I was rushed to the hospital a bunch of times in between. And it was really hard for me because I was at such a young age, and I was at the dream school where I wanted to be. So it was very hard for me at a young age to go through all that.
At one point you were temporarily placed on life support. When they finally told you what the problem was, and by the way, what was the problem, and were you shocked at that because you were just fit athlete?
So the problem was that my chest or my heart was enlarged. They did a chest x-ray and they saw that my heart was enlarged, and after that I was rushed to the hospital. And I remember the first day I was in the hospital, I didn't think it would be turned into what it is right now, which is a big deal. I thought it was just going to be like a Band-Aid and I was going to get over it 3 months.
Like maybe they could just do a quick surgery or something or fix that, but you didn't need a surgery, you needed an actual transplant.
Yes, ma'am. So after I turned 21, that's when I was taken to the hospital and I was put to the ICU, and then they did a right heart cath. That's when they go through the right of your neck, and they check the pressures of your blood. And when they checked the pressures of my blood, they saw they had risen, and then I actually went unconscious because I had so much fluid in my heart, and then I was rushed to the ICU, where I was told I had to have a heart transplant.
And when they say that you have to have a heart transplant, it's like, okay, chop chop, let's get to it. The only problem is it's not that easy. To our point that you have to wait for one, you have to wait for the match also. You couldn't have just any heart. There's all kinds of things they have to go through, but you're also 6'5", 230 pounds. You needed something that was size compatible.
Yes, ma'am.
When they told you that you would have to wait for one, you were battling that clock, weren't you?
Yeah, I actually was battling a different clock. Funny enough, I wanted to go to the Alabama game that year. So that was
other important things, right? Yeah.
That was the clock in my head. But of course, the clock in my head was when I was going to get this the heart transplant. And I'm a big faith believer, so I was always praying every day that the day would come. And I actually vividly remember that day that me and my mom were in the hospital. She was taking a nap, and I was playing the game. And that they called me and they told me that they actually found a heart for me. And I didn't believe it. It kind of reminded me of the first time I got an offer. I didn't believe it. I didn't think I was good enough to go D1. So whenever they told me, I was like, is this a joke or are y'all for real? So,
yeah. And what is that like? Because we certainly know that if you got an organ like a heart, that means somebody else passed away.
Yeah, that's like it's a tough way to wrap my mind around. And but I always pray every day to God. I'm thankful for the person who gave me my heart, because I've been able to do so much and inspire others and have a different purpose in life than I thought I would have.
Yeah, all right. Danielle, your daughter Jayla was only 13 years old, but wise beyond her years. The unspeakable happened, but she was prepared.
Yes, she was. Jayla was 13. She was an avid volleyball player, track runner. She was a Girl Scout. She was in the band. Absolutely wonderful. And picked her up from track practice one day. She told me she had a headache. And so as a mother of a 13-year-old, I gave her Tylenol, told her, okay, go to bed. She let out a noise that was just unlike her. So we immediately called 911, took us to Texas Children, and they treated a 13-year-old with a migraine. So she had all the symptoms of a migraine. So they treated her for about 12 hours. Realized the headache was not going away, so they did a CAT scan and found that she had been bleeding on her brain for 12 hours.
An aneurysm, right?
An aneurysm.
Yeah. I had an aneurysm that burst.
Yes.
And there's another lesson in here, because when I went to the hospital, I kept saying angiogram, CAT scan, MRI, whatever you got to do, look inside my brain. Because they said to me, well, it's probably just a headache or a migraine. I'm like, I don't have migraines usually. And this is like, you can't even describe the headache like a regular headache. So I think something is critically wrong. And I finally got those tests. Jayla ended up passing away, but you knew how she felt about organ donation.
Yes, so we never talked about it.
Right.
So I do appreciate the idea. It brought about a lot of conversation in my family, but the life she lived. Jayla was a giver. Yeah. Every opportunity she had, she gave to strangers, she gave to friends, teachers. She was an advocate. So when we were approached with the idea of organ donation, I didn't think twice about it. There were some emotional moments, because such as
in the family,
but I knew she would have wanted that.
Yeah. And the impact has been great. Her heart, her liver, 3 other organs donated. There was a girl in band who received her liver.
Yes, so the letter I received from that family, it was just amazing how parallel their daughter and Jayla was. Jayla was in the band, so was the young lady. Jayla was an advocate, so was the young lady. Jayla had an organization to help young girls get back into sports. Well, this young girl, she had an organization to stand up against bullying in her school. So they were so parallel in the things that they did. It was amazing. That was the best letter I could have ever received in life.
I can only imagine that. Nothing takes away the pain of losing your child, but to know that your child has given life to others is amazing. All right, and again, the importance of honoring, the one who has passed, honoring what their spirit and soul is. All right. As she mentioned, some people were opposed to it in the family, and you touched on earlier, there's different myths. I want to go through those. Some people actually say, well, doctors are not as likely to save donors, which is absolutely false.
That's incorrect. The doctors actually doesn't know who are donors. So the doctors, their main priority is to make sure to, when you get into the ER, to go ahead and do whatever they need to say your life. That's their number one priority.
And doctors don't take organs without permission.
They do not.
Some people say, well, I'm too old or too sick to donate.
No, people would be surprised how old a donor could be. We've had donors who are 92 years old. So age is not a factor anymore. We have people who are actually dying and waiting for life-saving organs. We have people who go to dialysis 3 to 7 times a week, waiting for a kidney transplant.
Other people have religious concerns.
From the research we've done, and it's out there, there's not a religion out there that is against organ donation. All religions believe in organ donation.
You can't do an open casket if I donate.
That is incorrect. You can actually do an open casket. We've had several people who donated their organs and they were able to do open casket. It's the unknown, and that's what Life Gift is trying to do, to preach about the unknown in the midst, to ensure that people are understanding what the reality is.
Yeah. And some people will say, well, are you going to charge us for the donation process?
No, there is no charge to either the donor family to go ahead and donate the organs.
All right. How do we register as a donor? It's best to go beyond just telling your family and friends what you'd like to do.
Correct. It's you could go ahead and go to our lifegift.org website. You can go to our website, you can go, and they'll direct you to the Donate Life Texas website to go ahead and register to be an organ donor. When you renew your driver's license, or when you obtain a driver's license, you can go ahead and register to be an organ donor. You can also, when you...
And it'll have that little heart on it, right?
Correct, it'll have the little heart. And then also, you can also, when you register your vehicle, you can go ahead and register to be an organ donor. And now with new technologies on the iPhone, you can register to be an organ donor on your iPhone as well.
Yeah, yeah. There's also living donors. You know,
Yes.
people know that you can donate a kidney because you can operate off of one kidney, partial liver,
Correct.
also skin, bone marrow, and blood forming cells as well, if you would like to donate that. And I'm going to end with, just for somebody out there who's on the fence about going ahead and signing up for it, what would you say to them?
You could definitely save a life like me and give purpose to people in life and lead. And you know, there's so many lives that have been saved just people doing selfless acts like as her daughter did. So it's awesome to see that.
I would say that know your family's wishes, and if there is not a wish, know their heart and the life that they lived and the fact that they would want someone to live after they're gone, their legacy.
I love that. Know their heart. All right. As we say again, can't take it with you, so you can't do anything with it then, but you can do a lot with it if you leave it behind.
Yes.
Thank you all very much. For more information, you can give Life Gift a call. Here's the number. It's 800-633-6562. Again, that's 800-633-6562. Or visit them online at lifegift.org. You can also follow them on Facebook. And remember, it only takes a few minutes to register as a donor, but it can mean a lifetime for someone else. And also, you all will facilitate letters and things, and even at times families that get to meet, because I know that it kind of closes that gap, doesn't it, when you can actually meet or hear from, like you said, the best letter you ever got, and say it was with purpose. All right.
Definitely.
Thank you.